Hi, my name is Alicia, and I used Cleveland Deliverance to help me. I had completely run out of options. I was in a nervous breakdown state. When I talked to them, they got me an appointment the very next day, and they completely transformed my life. I want to give you a little bit of a backstory of my life. I started being molested by my dad and his friends when I was 2 years old. When I was 4 years old, my mom had thrown me down 2 story stairs and cracked my head open. And when we were on the way to the hospital, my mom looked back at me and said, "Don't tell the nurses and doctors what daddy's been doing to you." And this whole entire time, I thought that my mom didn't know because I would cry and cry and cry for her and she would never come. And that's when I realized that nobody was going to save me. I had to save myself. So I asked the nurse, and the nurse looked at me in like complete horror, pulled the curtain around me, and never answered my question. So I was very, very confused. And I could barely talk. Um, my parents didn't teach us anything. And I really I just didn't know how to talk. And so I then got sent to a safe house for a week, and I was like, thank God this is finally over. No, it was not over. It got 1,000 times worse. I got sent to children's services, and I got put into a child prostitution ring, and I also had to do other things that were awful that I felt that I was going to burn in hell for the rest of my life. I am now 47 years old. I was in therapy. That didn't work. Uh, I went to church. That didn't work. And the reason why it didn't work was because the church that I went to, I had a NIV Bible, and they told me that I was not allowed to use the NIV Bible, that I had to use the St. James Bible, and I did not understand that Bible. So, um, not only that, but um, I had been surrounded by abuse my whole entire life, and the family that adopted me was severely abusive, and then that turned into abusive relationships. I literally thought that men beat their women. That's just the way life was, because that's all I knew. And I didn't know that there was a different way, and I didn't know that there was men out there that did not do that. Um, I also had come to terms with the fact that I was going to die a drug addict and an alcoholic. I was okay with that. I had accepted that because I'd been in that lifestyle for so long. And I hated God. I just absolutely hated him. I would cuss him out all the time. I just had this rage and this anger towards God for many, many years because I could not understand how a loving God could put an innocent child in a situation like they put me in. And um, what Cleveland Deliverance had explained to me is that it was not God, that it was Satan. It was the demons of Satan that were doing this, not God. And that resonated with me. And also, when they came here to my home, David walked around my home and he picked out things that he didn't feel that should have been in my home. I had multiple Stephen King books that I was selling. I did not read them, but they were worth a lot of money, and those are demonic books. So he was asking me about those. And then I also had other things that was hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. And I firmly believed in that because I was told when this was all happening that if you tell anybody, we'll find you and we'll kill you. So my whole entire life, I felt like somebody was going to jump out of the bushes and blow my head off, or I was going to get kidnapped and killed or something. And so I isolated and I never went outside. I worked from home and I was scared of the world. And when I did go out into public, I could see things in people and I could read people's minds. And I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And it, 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 it just, I just didn't want to go out in public because of the things that I knew that other people didn't know. And it was because of the what I had went through and how I could recognize these things in these people. Um, when they did the deliverance, I don't know exactly what all went on. I do not remember anything really. The only thing that I do remember is that they got me to forgive the people that had done this abuse towards me. And people have heard my story, and they all have said the same thing. You need to forgive them. I'm like, are you kidding me? You seriously want me to forgive these people that destroyed my life? There is absolutely no way on this planet that I will ever do that. No way. And they got me to do it. I don't know how they did, but they did. And this has completely transformed my life. This just happened 4 days ago. My mind is clear. David had brought up music that I was listening to. And when I was thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? Like, that probably is causing issues because I was not listening to appropriate music. And so now I started listening to just Christian music since this happened. And it has really, really helped me a lot. And it's really built my faith and it's connected me to the Holy Spirit a lot more. They also put me in a group chat to where I can reach out to them at any time if I have any questions or anything. It has been very late at night. It has been midnight and they have responded. It has been very early in the morning and they have responded. At least one out of the three people have responded to my questions. And if for as far as afterwards, there was so many demons inside of me that were coming out of me that I could literally see them in my house. So I was sitting on my couch and my master bedroom is right down the hallway. And I could see these demons in there. And I'm like, what the heck is going on in my bedroom? So I walk back there and I'm doing a David thing. And I'm like looking around and I hear this voice say, "You're cute but psycho hat." So I'm like, oh, this has to do with my clothes. So I had that. And then I also had a sweatshirt that said, "I'll put you in the trunk and help people look for you. Keep playing or stop playing with me." And then I also had a sweatshirt that said, "Silently judging you." And then I had another sweatshirt that said, "Ew, people." So I got rid of all that stuff. That stuff was gone. I also took David's advice and got rid of everything that he felt that I should get rid of. And there was like two more demons. And so I walked into my closet. They followed me in there. And I sprinkled holy water in there. And I shut the door. And locked them in there. And so for like the next couple of days, I would just like run in my closet for like a second and then run back out, then go and sprinkle holy water in there and then shut the door. Well, today when I opened it up, they were gone. So it's all gone. And I've talked to some of my friends over the last few days and they're like, "Where did Alicia go? Who is this girl?" And I have never felt peace for 1 minute in my life at 47 years of age. And after this happened, I have felt nothing but peace. The trees are no longer talking to me. The thoughts, the horrible thoughts that were going through my brain, telling me that I need to burn in hell, telling me that I'm never going to be anything, telling me that that I really don't want to say because it's cussing, and that is not appropriate to do on a video. But it was awful, and I was in mental torment my whole entire life. I have also gotten mental health diagnoses through this as well. I have been with a therapist since 2014, and she still has not been able to fix this problem that I've been having. So Cleveland Deliverance saved my life. And they saved my mind. They saved my connection with God. They saved my employment, being able to get to work on time, because I never ever slept. And I finally, after they had left, I had slept, I think, for like 6 hours, which was amazing. And then the next 2 days after that, I slept for 10 hours. I've never slept for 10 hours ever in my life. And um, there's just so many wonderful things that have come out of this. And I've learned so much in what they have told me. And they told me that I am allowed to speak about this, that I am allowed to tell people about this, that I do not have to stay silent anymore. And I'm not going to stay silent. This is something that people need to hear, that actually is real, that happens to people in children's services. And they also need to hear what it does to children that go through something like this. And they also need to know about Cleveland Deliverance. Because if it wasn't for Cleveland Deliverance, I probably would have blown my head off 4 days ago. Literally. And that didn't happen. And I'm very grateful for them. And I want to be a part of them because of how much they have helped me. So if anybody is going through anything like this or having any type of issues whatsoever that they cannot solve or that they cannot get past, definitely go to Cleveland Deliverance, because they will absolutely be able to help you and they will save your life. And I just want Cleveland Deliverance to know that I'm very, very grateful for you all.